Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. Got a little bit of extra for you today. It is October 28th, 2022. I am JD from New York, as always, coming to you live from the OTS venue. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on your Thursday, or not Thursday, Friday afternoons. I don't even know what fucking day it is, man. Friday afternoons, wherever you may be. We got a lot to get into, guys. I appreciate you joining me on this Friday afternoon. Seemingly, I don't know, man. I don't know what else to add on top of the CM Punk situation. It seems like, honestly, from me to you, it seems like everybody now is just jumping on the horse and adding to all the negativity that is CM Punk. Because they know he's not coming back, or at least have a hunch he's not coming back. Some people know more than others. But I think the cool thing to do now in school is shit on CM Punk. I don't know. I just have a feeling he's not coming back, but that's not stopping Chris Jericho from saying what he said today. It's not stopping everybody claiming to the dirt sheets that they won't work with him. I don't know. We'll talk about it. Also, Bray Wyatt. The hottest thing in WWE is Bray Wyatt. WWE is actually taping 2 SmackDowns tonight from what I read, unless I misread it. And Bray's going to be heavily involved in both shows. But what is the creative plan for Bray Wyatt, man? Are they thinking about doing the title match that everybody wants to see because it writes itself? Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt. Nah. Now, nobody wants to see that. Not now, anyway. What's the point of doing that now? Basically, you would be making the same mistake that you did with Seth Rollins. Not a good situation if that happens. But we'll talk about it. Some are saying that the report is false. When was the last time WWE admitted to a report being true? They want you to think it's false. But I think anybody with a logical brain knows that with both of them being on the same brand, that the match is inevitable. So we'll talk about it. We got a rumored debut or 2 happening in WWE. One tonight. A notable female talent from Impact. Not even their own employees want to be a part of Impact, man. So not only do we have people not watching Impact, nobody wants to work for Impact, man. You can't make this shit up, man. Holy shit. How many viewers they had last night, man? I fell asleep during the show. I put it on and I fell asleep. How many? 6? Oh my God, man. The ratings are declining over there, man. 6 people. Wow, just 2 weeks ago you had like 17, man. What happened? So we got notable news on 2 female Impact superstars coming over to WWE. The reason why Sheamus, my boy Sheamus, man. Sheamus would be happy to know that I bought this contraption from the Guinness Brewery, man. I could actually have a home-poured Guinness correctly right in the comfort of my bar. It's unbelievable. But the reason why Sheamus is not going to be on TV, we'll talk about that. And he'll be back. I'm assuming we'll get the Bloodline versus the Brawling Brutes at Survivor Series. And Sasha Banks, man. Sasha Banks still with the WWE. Apparently, the holdup is money. as it should be, because the woman deserves whatever she wants. She knows that that division needs her. So why wouldn't it be about money, man? Go make your money, is what I have to say. Go make your money. That woman knows that she has the power. You want me back? You gotta pay me. So I'm gonna go and do my modeling, and then when you want to pay me, I'll be back. But that's the news lined up, guys. I thank you guys for joining me. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. You guys want to get those super chats in? They are always encouraged. Always encouraged. Never mandatory, but always encouraged. Hit that thumbs up. I need 1,000 likes minimum. No doubt about it. I don't even want to hear a lip. I don't want to hear nobody, man. 1,000 likes minimum on today's OTS Extra. And memberships are always open, man. Always accepting VIPs. Applications, come on in. I want to thank several that have re-upped, which I love to see, man. It's a great thing to see. We got Marquise re-upping. Thank you, Marquise. Eric and Brian Edwards, Najee, Vernon F, Pause, NVI, Jonathan Lemon, Wrestling Show, and AJBZ 1994. Thank you guys very much for recommitting to the OTS VIP Club. Let's get into the news, man. We'll start off with Sheamus. We all love Sheamus. Sheamus is fucking great, okay? Everybody loves Sheamus. Sheamus has been in some wars with Gunther, and the Brawling Brutes have been fucking hot, man. They've been so hot on SmackDown. The world of a difference between Vince McMahon's Brawling Brutes and Paul Levesque's Brawling Brutes. Feuding with Roman Reigns is what they'll be doing going into War Games. But there's a reason why Sheamus is not on TV, man. He got taken out. And on last week's SmackDown, he lost a match to Solo Sikoa. Following the match, there was an injury angle where Jey Uso hit Sheamus with steel steps, pinning his arm down. Officials ran out to the ringside area to stop the attack to check on Sheamus, and they wrote him off television. Now, the reason behind the injury write-off has been revealed, and it's positive news. He's not hurt in any way, shape, or form. And he could use a couple of weeks off because he's been fucking busting his ass. But it's positive news as Sheamus is getting married to his fiancée, Isabella, this weekend. The man himself, man. The man himself, the Celtic Warrior, getting married this week. And I'm sure there'll be plenty of Guinness in that man's weekend. Over the last month, Isabella has kept fans in the loop with their wedding plans on social media. If you guys follow her on social media, I don't know why you would be. I mean, that's a little bizarre if you ask me. But in her Instagram stories, she shared photos indicating that the wedding is taking place this weekend. And Sheamus and Isabella announced their engagement in July, I should say, 2021. After he popped the question at the Cliffs of Moher in Ireland. Wow, I just came from there. I visited the Cliffs of Moher, man. That is incredible. To know that I was in the same place where Sheamus proposed to his girlfriend, man, that's incredible, man. That's really fucking cool. Congratulations to Sheamus. I hope he takes the time away and fucking enjoys himself, man. Seriously, with several cold beverages on tap. We'll be ready for him when he comes back to television. Nothing but the best for Sheamus and his wife-to-be, Isabella. So that is great, great news there. Moving on to tonight's SmackDown, man. We got a spoiler of sorts on tonight's SmackDown. Don't know if you guys really want to hear this or not. If not, I mean, I don't really care because this is in the news and we're going to watch it anyway tonight. Spoiler confirmation on a WWE return tonight on SmackDown. Familiar faces heading back to WWE. Fightful had a Q&A show today. And they indicated that there would be a return or a returning name as soon as tonight's SmackDown. PW Insider then reported that the former Emma, Tenille Dashwood, was backstage at SmackDown today, and she is expected to answer the open challenge of Ronda Rousey on SmackDown for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Don't know why that would be the best use of somebody coming on in and making a return, but I don't know what to tell you. I think that's a terrible idea. In fact, I got something better in mind, if you ask me, which I'll get into in a second. Fightful Select confirmed that there were plans to bring Tenille Dashwood back anyway Tenille finished up with Impact Wrestling this year after years with the company, and it's pretty much in the know now that she is dating SmackDown superstar Madcap Moss. I don't know why you would bring... First of all, let me get this out there. She's great. And I do think someone like that coming in, adding depth to that division, which we know needs depth, is a great move. I don't know why you would bring her in and put her in that situation facing an inevitable loss unless they're aiming towards a fuck finish, which could be a multitude of different things. I don't know. Maybe we'll see Damage Control get involved. Maybe we'll see Raquel and Shotzi get involved, being that they were feuding with Damage Control. I don't know. I don't know why they would do that. Now, if you're asking me what I would do with Tenille Dashwood is very simple. I mean, her look and what she is and who she is and her demeanor and that type of attitude that she's had with the gimmicks that she's played on Impact Wrestling, she would be absolutely perfect for Damage Control. And Damage Control is going to need another member if Damage Control is going to be doing battle with Bianca Belair, Asuka, and her girls, Alexa Bliss, right? Who else is involved? Candice LeRae. Right now, Bianca has 4. Bianca has those 4. Damage Control only has 3. I would absolutely love to see Tenille Dashwood join Damage Control, and I think that and what she brings to the table would be perfect to go alongside Dakota Kai, Io Sky, and Bayley. I don't know what you guys think, but that's the idea that I had for Tenille Dashwood. But she's on her way back. I can't really, look at this move and say anything more, but good job. That division needs some fucking help, and she's the right type of help. Plus, Damage Control could use a fucking swift kick in the ass because they feel genuinely ice cold. So we'll see Tenille Dashwood supposedly tonight on SmackDown against Ronda Rousey. And Ronda could use somebody that knows what the fuck they're doing in there instead of wrestling a bunch of nobodies. So it should be great to see her back on SmackDown tonight. Another woman that may be on her way back to WWE that will not be on tonight's show because she has to finish up her her obligations to Impact is Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green may be on her way back to WWE, and Triple H has been wanting her back as soon as he took over head of creative. WWE has a significant interest in bringing her back to the company. PW Insider is reporting that Green filmed an exit vignette at the most recent Impact Wrestling tapings. The exit vignette that Chelsea Green filmed is not the only thing exiting the Impact Zone. They have, how many people? 5 people there watching the show. You guys get the point. So they did an exit vignette at the most recent Impact tapings, with many people believing that she is WWE bound following her way out of Impact Wrestling. At the tapings, Green also worked a singles match with Mickie James that is believed to be a loser leaves town match, which is a likely way to write her off of television. The belief is Green wouldn't give up her regular Impact bookings unless she was returning to WWE for that big money. One has to wonder whether Green's husband, Matt Cardona, could be the next former WWE star to return, as Cardona did recently say the following about a possible return to the company during an interview with Metro. He says, and I quote, "I'm not trying to get back to WWE. I'd be lying if I told you I never wanted to have a WrestleMania moment again. I'd be lying to you if I never wanted to wrestle at Madison Square Garden again. Of course I want that. If Triple H called me right now, if I had that 203 for Stamford, Connecticut, show up on my phone, of course I'd pick up. But right now I'm focusing on being the best me possible and having the most fun possible and making the most money possible. Right now, I'm trying to prove that you don't necessarily need to be in WWE or AEW to be a successful pro wrestler. But of course, the WWE Championship is something that I think about every single day when I wake up. That is definitely always on my mind. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't." End quote. Now, Green's time in WWE and NXT was heavily skewed by injury. She broke her wrist not once but twice, both wrists. And then in her NXT run, she didn't really get a fair shake there because of the injury. Her main roster run didn't get a fair shake because of the injury. After a 3-year run with WWE, she amounted for nothing. Nothing came of her 3-year run in WWE, and then she was let go by the former administration. Again, very good at what she does. There's no way, I said this when she was released, there's no way you're looking at that woman and you don't get everything you need in a women's division standout. I don't get it. She checks all the boxes, every single box. She's got the looks. She knows how to talk. She knows how to wrestle. I don't get what the fucking problem is. And the only reason why Chelsea Green was let go in the first place, and everybody could cite the injuries, which obviously is a deterrent from hiring talent and really believing in is she injury prone? Of course, there were discussions about can she stay healthy? But outside that, she was only let go because she was tied to the old NXT. She was tied to Hunter. That was a Paul Levesque hire. Goodbye. Most of all those hires either were released or just quit and let their contracts run out, never to be seen again until Triple H came back. And now we're starting to see some of those former talents come back. And like Johnny Gargano, his contract ran out, and he's the luckiest man in the world. He wouldn't be in WWE if Vince and Bruce were still running the show. He's lucky that Triple H is there, and that's the main reason why he's back. Plain and simple. Now, Chelsea Green is great, but I know everybody's thinking, well, if Chelsea Green is going, what about Matt Cardona? Matt Cardona is somebody that's taken the Cody Rhodes path on the indies. Matt Cardona is bigger now in my eyes than he was in WWE. He's everywhere. He's got his own podcast. He's got his own fucking figure collection, which is notable in the entire IWC. He's conventions here, conventions there. He's wrestled for GCW and had a great run there. He's wrestled Nick Gage. He's did the hardcore thing. He's wrestled for Impact. I was shocked that we didn't see him on AEW, to be quite honest with you. But Matt Cardona has absolutely, beyond words, fucking made himself into a bigger star now than he was in WWE. And you can say, yeah, he had a WrestleMania moment, Intercontinental Championship, United States Championship. They dropped the ball with him. Plus, looking back at it, we fell in love with him because he was genuine. And I loved the Long Island Iced Z stories that he had on YouTube, and WWE killed that. WWE blatantly killed Zack Ryder. They did. And the reason why they killed Zack Ryder is because Zack Ryder got over on his own. On a list of people in the back, Zack Ryder was nowhere even near a fucking list of people Vince wanted to feature on television. The fact that he got a chance was because of how over he was, and then the political bullshit got in the way, and then they got bored. They looked at him, we can't push him, we don't want to do this, fuck the fans, goodbye Zack Ryder. Nothing more than a jobber. His tag team with Kurt Hawkins in WWE was also something that I was very hopeful for, because not only are they real-life best friends, but they were very good together, and that went nowhere either. It's just WWE didn't want to push them. So Zack Ryder did the Cody Rhodes thing. He went to the indies, and he made himself into a fucking name, a sought-after name, and now if he's on his way back to WWE, how much of a fucking asset is Matt Cardona going to be to WWE? You don't think Triple H knows what this guy has done for himself? Now, yes, he was a WWE superstar, but to go out there on his own and make a fucking name for yourself in the indies and work your ass off so that this opportunity may be back again for him is a tremendous thing. And that's somebody that I'd love to see back in WWE, because that's somebody that the fans wanted to see succeed in the first place and never wanted to see get shafted. Triple H knows what this guy can do and obviously has paid attention to what he's been doing on the independent circuit. So if you don't think that he's talking to Chelsea Green about something regarding a WWE return, you absolutely know that he's already saying, well, what's your husband up to? He would love to get Matt Cardona in WWE because Matt Cardona is somebody that has a lot of influence, and somebody like that, given the new platform, given the new administration, could take what he's doing now and elevate it even further. I would love to see him in the WWE. I would. Now, Chelsea Green, we'll see what happens, how they're going to debut her or how they're going to go about her in a creative way. I don't know. We'll figure that out when we get there. But right now, we got Tennille Dashwood showing up tonight, supposedly. And then when Triple H is ready, Chelsea Green, who I can also see in Damage Control because of just how she is and her demeanor. I think that would be great. So we'll see how the creative aspect comes when Chelsea Green gets to television. But that is a great move. And if we end up getting Matt Cardona back, I mean, you're getting a 2-for-1. You can't get better than that. Sasha Banks, keeping with the women's division, still under WWE contract. There's been a lot of speculation about Sasha Banks and what her future is in pro wrestling because she's been taking a lot of non-wrestling bookings in recent months. She's doing her thing. She's getting her name out there, and she's making her money. Good for her. Banks was recently in Spain for the World CBD Awards. She runs a CBD company in Orlando with former WWE star Kalisto, and they won an award for Best Industry Newcomer. Wow. Look at that. Banks and Naomi are also on the red carpet, or were, I should say, on the red carpet for the world premiere of Black Panther. So that is something that you guys, I'm sure, seen on social media. She was there with Xavier Woods and Big E and the Usos and Naomi. So that was something that went around on social media in the last couple of days. In August, WrestlingNews.co reported that Banks and Naomi had reached an agreement to return to the WWE, but Dave Meltzer has since reported that there have been hang-ups in negotiations for a new deal. Meltzer pointed out that Banks is still under contract and there is no word on when she will return. Banks and Naomi walked out of WWE in May because of creative indifference with Vince McMahon, Bruce Pritchard, and John Laurinaitis. The belief is that with Triple H in charge, things will be smooth over. They will. Everybody's clamoring to see Sasha Banks back. Sasha's obviously been seen training as well. She's not going to give that up. She's not going anywhere. Sasha Banks will be back. Now, I know Survivor Series is in Boston. We could see the return of Sasha Banks in Boston. I don't know if that's going to be what people are thinking or if it's going to happen there, but that is obviously a huge deal if she does come back at Survivor Series in Boston. If we don't get Sasha Banks in WWE by Survivor Series, Royal Rumble is always the next best case. And this may be why WWE and Triple H are going out there and bringing in a Tennille Dashwood. They're going out there and bringing in a Chelsea Green because Sasha Banks, they know that they need Sasha Banks. They know that they need star power for the women's division on SmackDown. So Triple H is going out there and bolstering the SmackDown women's roster. It may be because Sasha Banks is not ready to come back yet because of this holdup in her contract negotiation. She wants more money. Good. The old administration never valued Sasha Banks. Never. Sasha Banks, huge name. If you ask me, I've said this countless times. If Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Bayley, and Charlotte Flair walked into a fucking room, and I looked at every one of them, and you asked me, who's the superstar out of these four? Or the biggest superstar, I should say, because they're all superstars. I would look at Sasha Banks and say, Mercedes is the biggest superstar out of them all. She just exudes that superstardom. She just oozes importance. And WWE knows that, and Sasha knows that as well. That division has taken a massive hit without Sasha Banks. And WWE never valued Sasha Banks, and I stand firmly behind that because it was always Becky first. It was always Charlotte first. And then WWE never really gave a fair shot to Sasha Banks. Never. Never. Outside of a WrestleMania main event with Bianca Belair, she has never won a WrestleMania match outside of the Tag Team Championship match that she won with Naomi. That was her first WrestleMania win. And then WWE did what they did, and they fucked them over. They fucked them over the first time with the Tag Team Championships in Sasha and Bayley. Fucked them over. Sasha Banks has never held a championship outside her last reign past 30 days. I mean, give me a break. Give me a break. Sasha was always the one to put others over. Every single person that Sasha was in the ring with, she brought them to their best match. You name it, it's been done. Becky, Nia, Alexa, everybody, Charlotte, Asuka, Bayley. She is a Hall of Famer, and she's not even 30 years old yet. Or maybe she is 30 years old. I think she just turned 30. She knows that the WWE needs her. What plans may be in store for Sasha Banks when she gets back? I don't know. And one of the things that Sasha was always about was fixing the division, making the division feel important. Equal opportunity for the women compared to what the men have been given. The division has been fucking wretched for years. No depth, no superstars built up outside of the usual 4 or 5. Maybe, and I'm just throwing this out there and just shooting a layup here with this one. Maybe Sasha Banks, in contract negotiations, asked, we need to do better at building depth with these divisions. We need others to step up. It can't always be Alexa and Bianca and Charlotte and Becky, and then everybody else is like fucking tier 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, down to the fucking bottom of the barrel. Maybe it's by her request that she wants a bigger, better division. We don't know. I'm just spitballing with that one. But you know that that woman cared greatly about not only the tag team titles, which they fucked, but the women's division in general. She will be back. But there is more now than there was then without Sasha Banks. So when Sasha Banks comes back, it's going to add on top of what Triple H is continuing to build week after week after week. And when she gets back, she will be in the midst of the strongest women's division that WWE has seen in years. In years. And that's a good thing. The longer she holds out, I think the better it will be for both Sasha Banks and Naomi. Moving on. We have a new top merch seller in WWE, and is not Roman Reigns. It's not Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns and the Bloodline have been top sellers in WWE ever since Roman turned heel a couple of years ago, but the group has been dethroned this week. I'll give you guys one clue as to who it is. Is it AJ Styles? Is it Sami Zayn? No. Maybe it's Omos. I don't know. Does Omos have fucking merchandise? I don't know. No, it's Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt has been a ratings mover for WWE since his return at Extreme Rules, and it was reported in the Wrestling Observer that he is with now number 1 behind him as merchandise seller ahead of the Bloodline. WWE is selling merchandise with the new Wyatt logo with white rabbit imagery on it. So you could expect to see more merch added as they add more members to the faction that he is now going to be a part of. The newest members of the Wyatt Six, or the new Wyatt family, whatever the fuck they're going to be called, was revealed on Friday. Uncle Howdy. I don't know who Uncle Howdy could be. Some people think that maybe Uncle Howdy is a relative of Bray. We don't know. Some people think that Uncle Howdy is Bo Dallas. I don't think so. But I do think Bo Dallas is going to be involved in some way, shape, or form. A lot of people are saying that Uncle Howdy is going to be Vincent. Vincent from The Righteous, who worked on Impact and with Ring of Honor. And Jesse just texted me. Jesse's got a good point. Jesse's got an excellent point. Chelsea Green can join the club to be the Rhea Ripley problem solver. That's coming from Jesse right now. I think that's actually a pretty damn good fucking idea, too. So we'll see what happens there. Maybe that's the way they introduce her. Maybe. I think that would be great. I think that would be better than anything that she's been given before, I'll tell you that. But that was just coming into my phone now, so I figured I'd let you guys in on that. Very good creative idea by Mr. Jesse himself. Bray Wyatt's the number 1 seller in WWE. Uncle Howdy. It's not Bo Dallas. It's not a family member, though it could be. I think it's Vincent from The Righteous. So, PW Insider is reporting this week that Wyatt is slotted also as the number 1 babyface on SmackDown ahead of Drew McIntyre, and Dave Meltzer reported in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that Wyatt versus Roman Reigns is already being talked about because of how hot Bray Wyatt is upon return to the WWE. Now, I'll get to that in a second. Am I surprised to see number 1 Bray Wyatt? No. Now, he was number 1 for how long with The Fiend before he got fired unceremoniously. So I'm not surprised to see him take that top spot over Bray Wyatt, Roman Reigns, rather, for Bray Wyatt. You knew that was coming. So I'm not surprised by that at all. Now, the feud with Roman Reigns, This is the big story today. Everybody's talking about this today. Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns. Normally, we'd look back at their history and say, yes, they are destined to fight forever. They are probably each other's greatest rival, Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns. Now he's the number one babyface. Who's the number one heel on the show? Roman Reigns. So clearly it would make sense for the number one heel to go against the number one babyface in Bray Wyatt. He's already taken care of Drew McIntyre, so now Bray Wyatt is slotted in that top spot. Dave Meltzer is reporting that while it may be best to keep them apart for now, the idea is that Reigns versus Wyatt could be the biggest program in a long time because Wyatt is so hot right now. Again, no word on when the program may happen, but it's expected that Reigns versus Rock will main event WrestleMania. So there's not a window for a long Wyatt-Reigns feud unless it happens after WrestleMania. Then Fightful got their claws into this story, and they reported that SmackDown has a double taping tonight, and Bray Wyatt is going to be integrated into both shows. Wyatt will be included in some of his segments, and at least as the creative on Thursday, that is the case. Specifically, they've heard that the rocking chair from the first Wyatt incarnation will be used in some way, shape, or form on SmackDown. It was brought in as a prop. In addition, the Fiend mask is also set to be used, but plans called for it to be ripped up by someone, either Bray or somebody else. Now, the rumors regarding Wyatt imminently set to feud with Roman Reigns, one source told Fightful that the news that Meltzer was reporting was false. Specifically, they said, where would we go from there? And another noted that they learned from the Fiend run. Please, I hope that is the case. Now, is Meltzer wrong? No, Meltzer is not wrong. Meltzer may have been fed false information as to a time frame, but Meltzer is not wrong in his reporting, and I don't want to hear anybody saying that he is wrong because Fightful went back and asked the source, and they said, no, it's not going to happen. Yes, it's going to happen. Whether it's for the title or not, it's going to happen. It's destined to happen. But I'm glad to see that it's not happening right now, and if there is one fucking person that knows what happened in the old administration, and how wrong it was, it's Paul Levesque. He is not going to be somebody that's going to make the same mistake like Vince did with Bray Wyatt. And you think Bray isn't going to be vocal about that either? You don't think Bray was fucking seething with the creative direction, which all started from that Hell in a Cell match? It's not going to happen the same way that it did during Vince McMahon's run. So I think you guys are sitting there and worrying. I'm going to ask you not to worry. We're not going to go and make the same mistakes with this administration, though I do think that we are destined to have this feud happen. Now, we don't know what's happening with Roman, and we don't know what's happening with Dwayne, The Rock. WWE wants that. I think all signs kind of point to that, and nobody's going to let you in on what's going on. You know, Rock is always asked about it. Roman is always asked about it. Triple H mentioned something during an Ariel Helwani interview that he did right before Clash of the Castle about Rock possibly coming back. He's always alluding to things about WWE, and one last match is Dwayne. We don't know if that match is going to be at WrestleMania. In fact, out of all the matches proposed for Roman Reigns, that is the least interesting to me, to be perfectly honest with you. Now, a Bray match would be my preference over a Rock match with Roman, but the one match that I would love to see more than anything is Cody versus Roman. I put this out on social media today to spark a discussion, and people were like, oh, but what happened to Cody? You were all on the Cody bandwagon, and now you're on the Bray Wyatt bandwagon. Why are you being a hypocrite? I never said I wanted Bray Wyatt to wrestle Roman Reigns at WrestleMania over Cody Rhodes. I don't know where you got that fucking information from. Never in my entire career did I mention I want Bray Wyatt over Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania for Roman Reigns. People love putting shit in my mouth. I am the wrong person to fucking twist words around with. If I said it, I'll admit it. I never said I wanted Bray Wyatt over Cody Rhodes. I don't want this match to happen either right now. And I know we're not going to get it right now. There needs to be things that happen and characters involved for this to happen. Bray Wyatt and Roman, if we are not getting Rock at WrestleMania, I could see Wyatt and Roman at WrestleMania. Though I don't think that's going to happen. I don't. There are ways to go about this. If Rock and Roman is happening, and that's the plan at WrestleMania, Roman Reigns is winning. And he's going to hold the championship past WrestleMania. That's what's going to happen. WWE is going to be obsessed with getting that nice round number of 1,000 in Roman Reigns' title reign. And I believe it's up through the end of May where he'll eclipse 1,000 days as world champion. You don't think WWE wants that for Roman Reigns? This entire Roman Reigns run as the tribal chief has been about building Roman Reigns up as the greatest ever. They are going to do whatever steps necessary to make that happen. Then we can start talking. When milestones are hit and he beats The Rock, then we can start talking about who's going to take down the tribal chief. Who's going to win what world championship? Is it now time we get the WWE Championship back on Monday Night Raw? Yes. Yes. I do think that we're getting Rock and Roman at WrestleMania. I do think that Cody Rhodes is going to be strapped to Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. What Bray Wyatt does, I don't know. I don't know. Only he knows. And I trust what he is going to give us because he knows his character and his story better than anybody else. So after WrestleMania, I think we can sit here comfortably and say that Roman Reigns is still going to be the WWE champion. Would I have it that way? No, I wouldn't. I'd take everything that Roman Reigns has done and have him drop the title at WrestleMania, putting over somebody else, which he has not done during this entire run. If Rock is not at WrestleMania, I'm going with Cody. That's my choice. But if you were to do this match, and you want to do it now to strike while the iron is hot, Cody may get the shaft. Cody may be shit out of luck. If they want to strike while the iron is hot with Bray Wyatt, and they don't have Dwayne at WrestleMania, Wyatt and Roman is WrestleMania's main event. There's no other main event that's going to be bigger than that. With the story that's going to be told and how hot he's going to be and the fucking people clamoring for it, it's what's going to be hot. Now, I would not sit here and say, yes, let's put the world championships on Bray Wyatt. No, I'm not putting both world championships on Bray Wyatt. And even if it doesn't happen at WrestleMania, it still could work. If they want to do Roman and Rock, fine. If you want to do this Bray Wyatt and Roman feud before WrestleMania, I would actually be okay with that. Because here's the deal. We need a WWE Championship back on Monday Night Raw. If Bray Wyatt beats Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship, then Roman Reigns can move over to Monday Night Raw, be the guy over on Monday Night Raw, and he could defend the WWE Championship as he sees fit. Bray Wyatt, hot enough, big enough by himself to be the guy over on SmackDown to a point where Roman Reigns would not really be missed because that's how over Bray Wyatt is. So if Bray Wyatt, if they want to do this match before WrestleMania, which is a fucking shot in the dark, I don't see Roman Reigns losing before WrestleMania. Or this is all hearsay for now. This is all fantasy booking. If they wanted to do this match before WrestleMania, Bray beats Roman for the Universal title. Roman moves over to Monday. Bray takes SmackDown. And Roman, he can slay Dwayne at WrestleMania. And then he could drop the title to Cody on Monday Night Raw at some point. Whether it's in the middle of the summer or at SummerSlam, what have you. But I think we all know that this match is inevitably going to happen. It's got to happen at the right place, and it's got to happen at the right time. But if you do it now, and then you put him in a match with Roman, and there's no outcome other than Bray winning, I think we're fucking creating problem after problem after problem, and there's no reason why he's fucking back. Like the report said, where would we go from there? Nowhere. Nowhere. If they want to do it, Bray has to win at least one championship. That's it. But I don't see Roman Reigns losing before WrestleMania, and I see Roman Reigns going into Mania with both championships, wrestling Rock, beating Rock, and then we'll start talking about how do we get this title off of Roman and how do we get the WWE title back to Monday Night Raw. Maybe it happens during the draft. I don't know. Maybe after Roman beats Dwayne, we're getting a draft after WrestleMania. That's my prediction. That Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania will be draft night. Maybe they take the title off Roman there and say, enough is enough. We need that title back on Monday night. It's an interesting story. But I gave you legitimately all the ins and outs of what could be, what should be, what can't be. Roman and Bray is going to happen. It's not going to happen right now. And if it does, Roman needs to lose one championship. Moving on. We got news on CM Punk. CM Punk is going to be in the news. I know you guys are probably sick and tired of hearing about it. CM Punk and the dog news about Larry and all this bullshit. I went over it yesterday in an extra. If you guys missed it, go check it out. I don't believe the story. I don't. And I think it's all fabricated bullshit. I honestly think that the story was made up, and I don't think Larry is in a situation here where he was injured at the all-out scrum. I don't. Did Larry have two teeth pulled? Probably. Who the fuck knows? Who knows? Larry may have had two teeth pulled after the fucking show was over, and he needed to have those two teeth removed. Did he get the teeth knocked out by the door swinging open and hitting him in the face? Probably not. Because I know if I'm CM Punk, if I'm Phil Brooks, and my baby, my fur baby is harmed in any way, and he had teeth knocked out, and he's injured, and obviously with teeth missing and being knocked out and him having a fucking door flung in his face, there'd probably be a fucking hurt, wounded puppy on the floor, possibly some blood. You don't think that the fight at that point is going to cease and that dog is going to be taken to the fucking emergency room? Give me a break. Give me a break. I don't understand that. I really don't. Why wasn't this story all of a sudden, all of a sudden it just came out of nowhere? Why wasn't this reported fucking 2 months ago? That's a pretty big fucking detail in the story, don't you think? Yeah, the door flung open and hit Larry in the fucking face. Now it's being reported on the day, on Wednesday, where the Elite was given a return vignette about coming back to television. Sure thing. Sure thing. Bullshit. I don't believe it for a second. There are multiple eyewitnesses that say that this story wasn't true. Dave Meltzer reported this on The Observer, that he had gotten stories from both sides about the dog, and the story was never mentioned. Meltzer noted in The Observer that, per multiple sources, the story is a fabrication. AEW source says CM Punk was a total psycho during the backstage fight. Larry the dog injury is not true, completely made up. Meltzer added to this story, and he wrote about the story that broke, which originally came from Wrestling Inc., about Larry the dog. He says, completely made up story. One person in AEW said, he, Punk, losing the investigation is desperate. That's what they said. Punk lost the investigation, and Punk is desperate. It's exactly what it sounds like. There was a multiple of weeks with investigation ongoing, and this was oddly not discovered, says the AEW source, like everybody had insinuated. Also, it's so happened to be mentioned the moment there was news about the Bucks and Omega possibly coming back. Now this story all of a sudden comes to light. It's insane that people would even humor this, says Dave Meltzer. There was another person who was in the room seconds after the incident started, and that person also said that the dog story was not true. That person said the dog story is a complete lie. When the altercation was happening, Punk was a total psycho and couldn't have cared less about the dog. Legitimately says could not have cared less about the dog. Kenny Omega picked the dog up to save him from being hurt and gave him to Mega. Mega was holding the dog, screaming at Punk to stop. Punk didn't even register that his baby was being held by a stranger in the middle of a fist fight. It didn't stop him one bit. The person said they saw everything exactly as it happened and said they never spoke to Lucy. the only other person in the room, Ace Steel's wife, who didn't work regularly for AEW other than the security, because she was a non-factor, sat in the corner the whole time as her husband was throwing chairs, punches, and biting Kenny Omega. The feeling within AEW is that Punk is not returning, and talks are still ongoing for his buyout from the company. It is noteworthy that Tony Khan is willing to let Punk go, even though he was the company's biggest drawing card, which he should be willing to let him go, because there are going to be a lot of people that come to AEW that don't want to work with him in any way, shape, or form. You're going to have people that work there now that are going to put their foot down, people of influence that are going to put their foot down about CM Punk and not wanting to work with him, and him not being in the locker room is probably best. This has already started to happen. Chris Jericho is one of the top stars among many that refuse to work with Punk if he returns. It continues to look like CM Punk not coming back is true, even more so. He's not going to be back in AEW. Punk's friend, Ace Steel, gone. He's fired. Jericho allegedly told Punk after All Out that he was a cancer to the locker room. In the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer reported that many, if not most, of the key names in AEW were saying that they would not work with him again. One top star stated that Punk won't be back. His value on screen isn't 1% worth the hassle and black cloud he causes backstage. Another star noted that the team has decided he's out, and regardless of some being willing to work with him, the collective decided that he was voted off the island. CM Punk is finished. CM Punk is finished. Jericho called him a detriment to the locker room and a cancer to AEW. If Chris Jericho is saying that about anybody, then more than likely you are not going to be brought back to the company. Jericho has been a man of power, and now signing a contract extension with more responsibilities alongside Moxley and Bryan Danielson as the three-headed beast that has now taken over the locker room to bring order and justice to the locker room and make sure that everybody lives in a harmonious fucking locker room. If Chris Jericho says it's not going to be. Punk is not coming back to fit your fucking narrative and to bring the fucking super fans, joy and happiness once again. If Jericho says it, that's it. Judge, jury, and executioner is Chris Jericho. You are not going to be brought back into the AEW locker room. And rightfully so. If everything that's being said here happened and Punk is getting desperate and now lying and fabricating stories, who wants him there? Who wants him there? His value, obviously, great. He still holds a lot of value, no matter what. Goes to AEW, goes back to WWE. There will be value there. But at the end of the day, was he a needle mover? Yes, ticket sales, I would say gates, millions upon millions that Tony Khan made with CM Punk. I get it. I get it. But with the good comes the bad. With CM Punk back, look at the locker room. With CM Punk gone, look at the locker room. We've heard less and less and less stories, unless you're Sammy Guevara, which I hope he learns his lesson eventually too. With Punk gone, now you're hearing less and less and less and less stories. AEW is still producing great television. To me, it's still top-tier pro wrestling during the week. I would slot it right now, number 2 under SmackDown. Monday Night Raw with the last couple weeks is a distant number 3. AEW Dynamite has always been quality. They've dipped in the beginning stages of the summer. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't great by any means. It wasn't as good as it was. But Tony Khan has righted the ship. With Punk gone, they produced some of their best shows. With Punk gone, Dynamite is nearing 1 million without Punk. They almost did 1 million this week. They did 3-4 weeks of 1 million without Punk, without the Elite. Do they need Punk? In some aspects, they do. But do they need Punk? Do the fans want Punk? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think Punk was the figurehead of, man, all these ex-WWE guys coming on in here. If I wanted to watch WWE, I'd go watch WWE programming. The reason why we fell in love with AEW was because it was different. The reason why we fell in love with AEW was because they were the alternative. They are not the alternative anymore. You can't be the alternative if Paul Levesque is doing the same thing you're fucking doing on Monday and Friday night. Tony Khan needs a different plan of attack. The reason why we fell in love with AEW was because of all the day one originals. Seeing people on TV that are not the norm. We love Malachi. We love Andrade. We love Miro. But we're here for the Ricky Starks of the world. We're here for the Will Hobbs. We're here for the Jungle Boys. We're here for the Darbys. Right? Luchasaurus. Sammy Guevara. Guys like MJF. That's who we're here for. If I wanted to watch WWE, I'd go watch WWE. And all he did was add on top of add on top of add, and it became WWE. Became WWE. It basically became NXT Light. It became a faint black and gold, if you ask me. So with Punk gone, I'm not going to shed a tear. Was I happy he was back? Absolutely. Everybody was. But if he's that big of a problem, who needs him? Who needs him? I know Paul Levesque is waiting in the wings to just fucking sink his teeth into CM Punk, if that's true. Who knows if Punk wants to go back? Punk has already tarnished his fucking reputation in this return. He's going to completely kill his reputation if he goes back to WWE with 8 years of fucking just hatred that he spewed to the world about his ex-employer and everybody that he used to work with. He's going to go back and work there now? Why? Money. I wish everybody would just get along for the sake of getting along, doing business, making money, and making all that happens here at All Out into a fucking storyline. That's what I would love to see. Are they man enough to do that? Probably not. Probably not. All of this started over jealousy, the elite, and everybody in the locker room was jealous of CM Punk coming in, making money, coming in, being the guy that's, you know, the star who's responsible for ratings and gates and millions and this and that and fucking taking AEW to the next level. Everybody wanted to be that. That was Punk. Kenny Omega, Nick Jackson, they were jealous. This guy coming on in here, making money, making fucking 10 times more money than we are. He's the guy. This is our place. He's the guy now, right? Nobody could play in the sandbox together. It sucks. It's fucking childish. They threw away a good thing. Then obviously all of this at the scrum because of one of the most mid-fucking wrestlers ever in Colt Cabana. All started over hatred over a mid-carder in Colt Cabana, which spurred the entire all-out bullshit, which led to the brawl. It's unbelievable to me. Everybody is guilty. I just hope that they learn their lesson. I wish that they would all play in the sandbox together and get what needs to get done. Business, making money, do it for the fans. No, they'd rather have their fucking jealousy run rampant and their egos run wild because he's CM Punk and they're the elite and, I need this, I need that. Fuck the fans. That's the way I interpret it. Fuck the fans. You were back for us and now you're back for you. And now you don't want to be back. Fuck the fans. He will never admit that he was wrong. If the source here, an AEW source, says that he's getting desperate, I'm sure that same sentiment is being felt in the entire locker room. It's a disgusting fucking act that he's got to now involve his animal, his pet, in a fucking lie, fabricated lie, so that he can cover his ass because he's losing the investigation. Anyway, guys, that is all I got for this extra. Hopefully you guys enjoyed what I brought to the table here today. Appreciate you guys very much. We got some memberships coming on in. Better Days with a new membership. JDC Biggins with 3 months. Robbie Freeman with 3 months. Leo Sanchez with 7 months. Nickname My with a new membership. Alex808 with a new membership. Thank you guys very much for your new memberships and recommitments to the VIP club. I appreciate you guys very much. The Man in Black with a $4.99 super chat. JD, for Halloween, would you rather go as done gobbledygooker or a sexy banana? I'd rather go as gobbledygooker, bro. Nobody wants to be a sexy banana, and nobody wants to have wood sticking out of their fucking gums for Halloween. Mendelf's Isma with a $5 super chat. Hey, JD, just realized you're live. Question. Do you think Randy Orton will return in the Royal Rumble, eliminating Matt Riddle, starting the feud for Mania? I'd like to hope so. Randy Orton's injury is reportedly bad. He may not be back. I don't know. The Kings with a $4.99 super chat. All this about Punk causing toxic locker room, yet Britt Baker, Sammy, Eddie are running around unchecked. Punk can't completely be the scapegoat of AEW. I don't know, man. We got stories about Britt, but I'd rather stay away from that. Sammy Guevara, hopefully he's learned his lesson. I know he's young and he's immature, but he's great at what he does. There's value there in him. Eddie, we don't know what's going on with Eddie. And then you say, love it here with the OTS family. Thank you, JD. Thank you so much, Kings, for 4 months. Omega Kong with a $5 super chat. When Punk came back, it was all positivity. He was there as a mentor to the future stars. What a difference a year makes. Yeah. Now you look back on everything he said. Bullshit. Travis Drum with a $10 super chat. Always enjoy an extra from King JD. Thank you, Travis Drum. As always, brother. Guys, tonight I will be live for SmackDown. Maybe a little bit of Rampage, but mostly SmackDown. So make sure you guys join me in the venue tonight, guys. I appreciate you joining me for this extra. As always, I'll see you tonight from the OTS venue right here on Off the Script following SmackDown. And I thank you guys very much, man. Enjoy the rest of your evenings. And I'll see you tonight for OTS.